Hello and welcome back to Conan Exiles, and we're on the Isle of Siptah, and I'm down here on my southern base on this southern island. But our base has changed somewhat. I've totally redone it. The base we had here before was built out of Flotsam, but it was looking really quite untidy, I thought. And in the last episode we had a purge, a Stygian purge, and I was running around, you know, fighting Stygians, and thinking that the base really wasn't worth defending, because I never really liked it that much at all. If you remember it from previous episodes, it was like a series of huts on stilts, and these were all connected with walkways, and it was meant to be like some sort of treehouse effect. But I don't think it worked for a number of reasons. I mean, firstly, it looked quite ugly. Secondly, it didn't look like anything that would exist in the real world. You know, there was no reason that any reasonable person would have built such a structure in the first place. And also, it just wasn't very practical. I mean, I did cram in some workbenches here and there, but it wasn't a very good use of space. So I wasn't really that fond of it. And then I decided to build this behind me, which is my treasure tower. I've got a treasure room at the top. Let's go and have a look at it. Yeah, I wanted somewhere sort of reasonably secure to keep all my treasure. So I've put this guy up here with my piles of loot. And I built like a little balcony on the side of this tower, just to make it look a bit more interesting, I suppose. And it was when I was looking at this tower and thinking how much I like the shape and the design that I decided to build this over here. Yeah, alright, thank you, bloody noisy cats. Yeah, so I tore down the old Flotsam structure and put that up. And what I did initially was build that tower. Then I built quite an elaborate sort of ground floor at the back of that. But when I put the walls on, I discovered I couldn't put roofs on it properly. And that is one of the main issues with building in Conan Exiles. The difficulty sometimes of putting roofs on structures. So what I ended up doing was demolishing everything but the tower, then building a very simple hall on the back, putting a roof on that, then building extensions to the hall, and then lastly we've got this side building here, which was an absolute afterthought really. I needed a bit more space, so I built another structure sort of roughly aligned with this building, and then realised it would make much more sense if they were all part of the same, you know, unified body. So again I tore down all this and rebuilt it. But yeah, we'll go around and I'll give you a much more detailed guided tour. So ignore all these are just roofing items that I put here to remind me what they looked like. But here's the other side of the building, so you can see one of the extensions on the side. The roof was still a problem, despite everything. I'll show you what I mean. If I climb up here, Gaudia is wearing a new outfit, but I won't go into the details here. You can wait for the next episode. But here's the roof. Oops, come down please, there we go. Yeah, and I couldn't fill this gap. I couldn't get a roof that would go from the hall beneath me here up to the side and then work in a way that I could extend it to cover the rest of the hallway. So that was a bit of a problem, but what I did was put down these triangular slabs in the corners and then I was able to roof over the rest of it. And I do like this roof, it looks like an upturned boat really, doesn't it? It's quite fun. But having these corner slabs was quite a lucky thing, because they let me do something a bit more interesting on the inside. So let's go and have a look. So here we go, here's the ground floor of the tower. And because I had those triangular corner pieces up on the roof, I was able to move the walls down here. So if I show you, the walls would originally have looked like this. So you see the outline of the tower here. But because of the corner slabs, I was able to sort of move them back one and create these interesting looking niches on either side of the doors. So if I go upstairs, I continued that design up here. So there's another niche and there's another niche, and I've got this upper chamber to the hall downstairs. So this room is sitting on the main chamber downstairs, and I think this will be the main bedroom or something like that. And there's obviously the roof up above us there. But if we go downstairs... Oh, no, let's go to the top first. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with these spaces at the moment, but this is just, you know, the top floor of the tower. Don't know what I'll put up there. But like I say, I think this will be my main bed chamber, or some such. Going downstairs to the ground floor again, we have got the main hall. Here it is. So there's the bed chamber upstairs. And we've got these rather fun niches on either side here. So what I'll do, I'll either put some vases up there or perhaps some dummies wearing armour. Should be quite fun. Once I've done the main hall, I put this gable roof on the end, just to give it a bit more of an interesting profile. And I also added this extension to the side, which is like a little solarium, I suppose you could call it. Again, I'll find a use for that. And here is something that happened completely by accident. As I mentioned, I rebuilt this workshop on the side. Then I figured out I can actually make this like little armoured pier on the roof and connect it by a door to the main hallway. So yeah, that was quite a lucky accident, I think. I think it looks pretty good. We come down here. We go inside. Whoops, there's loads of room. Absolutely loads. So this is going to be mostly workbenches. Not sure which workbenches to put in here. Yeah, I could have put a proper roof on the top there, but it would have risen up too high and interfered with the structure. So I chose the flat roof and then put those fence pieces on top to make like an armoured pier. But I think the most interesting thing about this structure is that it doesn't use any foundation blocks at all. It uses a building method that uses pillars and ceilings. So you can see how it works here. If I crouch down, there's the pillar. And then what you do, you put the pillar where you want, put a ceiling tile down, and then you can snap walls to them. And they just bury themselves into the ground. And then obviously you can snap on top like that. But it means that you don't get, you know, really irritating joins between foundation blocks and walls, which you can see here on these arena pieces. So if I built a tower comprising arena foundations and arena walls, you would see this very obvious line running around the base where the two met, and that is quite irritating. But you completely dispense with that issue using the pillar and ceiling technique there, and it gives the whole thing quite a unified look, I think. So no distracting joins or creases anywhere. Looking very pleasant. I've got another structure over here, which is an old one. You'll have seen this before. But this is going to be my alchemy suite now. I've got an alchemist bench in here. And I've also got a sacrificial stone. But I think I'm going to get rid of the stone here. Just get rid of all that. And then put my golem stuff in. I think that'll be a better use of this space. I very rarely sacrifice people anymore, so you don't really need that stone. But there we go. A rather handsome looking building, I think. And certainly a great improvement on the Flotsam monstrosity that was there before. Yeah, I hope you'll agree. Very nice. Now I've just got to decorate it, because all the crap I had in the old structure is in these giant crates scattered around on the plains behind there. And now my work is cut out decorating and shifting stuff inside. I think I shall enjoy that. But yeah, I hope you found that quick tour useful. Hope to see you again for the next video, and until I do see you again, I shall say good night.